Hi everyone, and welcome back to CreativeChelsey. This week is Paper Pumpkin Week on my channel, and we are going to be doing a bunch of different alternative projects using the March 2020 Paper Pumpkin Kit, no matter the weather. So these are the original projects that you can make using the kit. And what I've done is taken those same supplies with a couple extra things from my craft room and created some alternative projects. So this is the first card we're going to be doing, and then the second card. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to need to do is get this card base from the kit. So this goes with this second card here. And you're just going to remove the card, the front from the back. So line it up with 3.5 inches, which is right around that center point, and remove that piece. And then we're going to just cut another 3.5 inches from the bottom. And then we're going to save this and use this on our second card. You are also going to need the shaded spruce envelope, and we're going to trim off all sides and the bottom, and then we're going to be using this piece for our card. So just about 1/16 of an inch off each side. And then you're going to trim this down. So there is the fold crease line here. So go ahead and trim on that line. So that's around 3.5 inches as well. And then save this because you can get about an inch and a quarter of this pattern. And so you don't want to throw that away. And then you're going to trim off this extra white piece on each side. So just however far you need to just remove that piece. And that should give you a piece that's about 4 inches and 5/8, it looks like. Next, we're going to just trim it to this width, which is 2.5 inches. So we have about 1 inch left, and you can use this on another project. And we are going to use this piece today for our project. We're going to be working on a piece of gray granite cardstock. So I've got a base for that. And then we also need from the kit, we're going to use the yellow checkered boots, the grouping of flowers, and the pink label. And then we'll also use 8 inches of twine. So let's go ahead and put this card together. There's not a lot of stamping for this card. It's just the greeting gets stamped. So when I'm adding these two pieces together, I want it to be centered. So I'm going to be using my grid paper. I'm going to place some snail on the back of my front piece, just a little bit so that I can remove it if I need to. And then I'm going to line this up on my grid paper. It doesn't really matter where it goes, just that it's lined up. And then this is an inch larger. So I just want it to be 1/2 inch on each side. And then this is about 1 inch and 1/8 larger. So I'm going to go about 1 inch and 1/16 up. Not 1 inch, 1/2 inch and 1/16. So that would be 7/16 up from the base. So I've got 1/2 inch from the left to the left side of that paper, and then 9/16 from the base of my stripe paper to the base of my front cardstock. Okay, go ahead and add that. And then you can add some more adhesive to the back. And then center this on your card base. And that one you can just eyeball. Next, let's go ahead and add our boots, and these are popped up with some dimensionals. And those get placed on the left side, and it's okay if a little bit of that comes off. Then we're adding the flowers, and these also are popped up with dimensionals. And I like to place these so they look like they're coming out of the boots. And so on the right side, I'm going to place them under the boots, and then on the left side, I'm placing them over the boots. Like that. Next, we're going to stamp. So I've got my pink label and my paper piercing mat. And then I'm going to use the greeting, "Let Love Grow." And we're doing that with the basic gray Stampin' Spot that came in the kit. So go ahead and center that and stamp. This also gets popped up with some dimensionals. And we're just placing that right over the boots in the center. And then just make sure that it is running horizontal. Like that. And now we're going to add our embellishments. So we're going to tie a bow with our 8 inches of twine. You're just going to find the center and then create a bow around that. And then pull. And you can make it as big or small as you'd like. And then that gets added right there at the base of our greeting on top of the boots with a glue dot. And I've got my pickup tool. I'm just going to slide a glue dot off and place it where I want my bow. And place my bow down. And then take a good pair of scissors and just trim off any extra from that tail that you may not want. The other accessories we're using, we've got some of those cute raindrops that came in the kit. And then I wanted to add some extra sequins from the iridescent sequins assortment pack that's in the main catalog. So let's add these next. So get some glue dots, and you can place these wherever you like. I've got one by the greeting, or actually 2, and then one up here by the flowers. And I love these sequins. They just have this beautiful little iridescent sheen to them. And you can remove the paper and then use your pickup tool to pick up those sequins. And you can pick whichever colors you want. You can do them all the same or all different. Like that. And then we're going to add the raindrops. And I've got those here, and I've used 6 on my card. They've given us quite a bit, and so you can choose how many cards you're going to make and which cards you want to use them on, and then how many of these cute enamel raindrops you're going to use for each card. So you don't have to use as many as I do, or you can use more, whichever you like. And I'm just going to kind of place them around at different heights to kind of create the look like it's raining. Oh, I think I got a circle there. Like that. Yep, that one was a circle. That's okay. All right, so that card's done. So that was a really simple and quick card. using the same supplies from the kit, and we've just added a card base and we've cut up the envelope. Don't miss out on the fun. Subscribe by April 10th to receive next month's Paper Pumpkin Kit. It will be a fun family appreciation themed card kit that will make it easy for you to share your heart with those you love most. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on card number 2. So card number 2 uses some pieces from the first video I shared on Monday, and I will go ahead and link that up here in the corner. And so click on that if you haven't seen that. But we're using the boots. So on Monday, these boots, there are 2 other colors to these boots. And so we have removed those and have added them to 2 cards from Mondays. And so now we're just using these 3 for this card today, as well as the envelope top from the card on Monday. We've got the piece we just cut from the card base today for this video. And then we also have the blue tag and 3 hearts from the kit. We're going to need a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock for our card base, a piece of basic gray, and this is 5 inches by 3.5 inches, and then a scrap piece of Petal Pink. So let's go ahead and start. We're just going to trim off some of this extra white that's around the boots, just to kind of smooth it out a little bit. So that's done. So we're going to stamp on the back of 2 of these hearts to change the color, and we're going to do that with So Saffron and Calypso Coral. So in the kit, you received 2 stamp sets this time because it was an anniversary kit. Paper Pumpkin's been around for 7 years. And so one of the stamps images is this larger heart. And so that fits perfectly on the back of those die cut hearts. And so we're going to use that. And we can just stick that up here in the corner. You're going to want to get your paper piercing mat again and remove one of these, because one of these stays in that Petal Pink. And then we can take out the other 2 and turn them over. And then ink up your heart in one of these colors. And then center it over that heart and stamp. Go ahead and clean that so you can change the color and get the Calypso Coral. Okay, so we've stamped in So Saffron and Calypso Coral, which match the color of our boots. The last thing we want to stamp is the greeting, and we're using the No Matter the Weather, We're in This Together, and that is in the basic gray. And you'll just want to stamp that on that scrap piece. And then we're going to punch that out with a punch. And I've got a 1 inch by 1 1/4 inch. And you can use any size punch you have and any shape. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this card together. We've got our white card base, and then you're going to add your basic gray cardstock to the front, and I've already placed adhesive on that, so I'm just going to place that in the center. Grab that envelope top from Monday's video, and we're going to trim it down. So let's go ahead and we're just going to line this up and trim it, and then do the same on this side. So you're just kind of lining it up with that corner. So this should give you a piece that's about 4 1/4 inch long. And then you're going to want to just trim this right where that adhesive starts. And so that should give you about 1 1/4 inches. And this gets placed on our cards just near the bottom. Just kind of give it an even border from on the left side and the bottom. The right side's going to be a little longer. Next, we're going to kind of add this gray piece, gray cloudy piece, and that's just going over the yellow. And that can go anywhere you kind of want the imagery to go. So if you want it to be up higher, you can do it higher. I'm kind of placing it so that the yellow sits just below center. The top of the yellow sits just below the center of this gray piece and slid to the left still. All right, let's go ahead and add our boots with some dimensionals. And that just gets placed so that the bottom of the boots are just right above the bottom of the gray piece. And then the yellow is coming off slightly. Next, we can add our hearts, and they're just going to go over the matching boot color. And we've got that with dimensionals as well, and we're just using mini dimensionals so they fit perfectly in that heart. So go ahead and just center them over each boot or pair of boots. Yeah. Okay, add the blue strip or the blue tag. And that's just kind of going in the middle of the boots. It can go over the yellow slightly. And then the greeting gets added with dimensional. And you can place that just slightly over the gray piece, but close enough to the boots that it's kind of, you can tell that they're kind of together. You don't want it too far away. Then add some glue dots for those sequins. I've just got one down here and then 2 up on top. And then just pick up whichever colors you want to use. So I've got a yellow, put that one down here, maybe a green, and we'll do a blue. Okay. So the very last thing we're going to do, and you don't have to do this if you don't have the Wink of Stella, but this is just a really fun brush that adds just a little bit of glimmer to your images. So you can just rub that right over those images, and then it just adds a little bit of shine. Okay, so this card is all done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like, and share. Visit CreativeChelsey.com for more information about Paper Pumpkin and to start getting your monthly kit. Have a creative day. Bye.